divided. You know, you're being called that woman character. To me, it just seems to indicate something lesser. I don't know, but I like to just like kind of revel in the fact that we were just strong, kick-ass characters, and that a lot of people are really identifying and seeing young men and boys and young girls both feel like they can relate to what we put up there on the screen. To me, I feel really, really proud of that, and it's just really hard to it's hard to believe that this little stroke of luck that seems so random, and actually like something that I wasn't going to be particularly, thinking about in my 50s is now like one of the most important aspects of my life. So that's the thing that I think gets me the most, and is how important horror has become in our society.
Pop culture and all of that. Yeah. And I think their characters too were relatable. I know with Alice, it's like we've all had that time when we're a daydreamer, when we are within ourselves, But then at some time in your life, you have to really feel. It's like feeling an onion as you mature and find that strength within you. So anyway, I love hearing all your stories in personal lives too. It's awesome. You say awesome. I'm really not from the beach.
Yeah, I say awesome. Why am I saying it too? Awesome.
You live at the beach, so you might say awesome. I can't.
So we've seen a progression of Freddy from the original to your films, adding more and more comedy to sort of what Robert did with the character. Talk a little bit about what you think adding comedy to such a dark character, and how much of that was Robert being able to do what he was able to do.
I think what I was telling a young pair of filmmakers earlier today is Wes knew that you couldn't just have everyone on the edge of their seat the whole time. There's no way the human body can kind of suffer that for an hour and a half. And when you laugh, you fully relax after you've laughed, right? You kind of like take that deep breath, and that's what Wes knew about the rhythm of making horror, is that you have to have these little things that get you on the edge of your seat, and you have to laugh and let it all go and let the air out of the balloon, and then you have the really scary thing. And it's this completely predictable formula that Wes uses, and you can almost map it on a chart. And it's absolutely necessary with horror. If anything, a horror movie that doesn't have an element of humor here and there is not going to ever scare you as much as a movie that does have that.
It's like laughing takes you off guard. It takes you off guard, and then the kill comes in. So it's even more startling.
And I mean, so many of the situations are just so ridiculous. That we need to laugh, and even at death, there's like some aspects of death that, it's important to learn to laugh at death. And I do think that it sounds macabre, but it's something that human beings kind of have to deal with. Like, how are we going to face death? Well, maybe face it with a laugh. Maybe that's the best thing.
And you'll laugh at, and also I think progression though, from this part of your point was progression from Nightmare 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now 4, can you hear me? Yeah, is it working? But in 4, I mean, when you think about it, generally horror films aren't generally dark. Oh, there. Okay. Oh, scared myself. The lighting is dark and moody and this and that. Now going to Nightmare 4. I mean, we've got Freddy on the frickin' beach, okay, putting on Ray-Bans. So we're really going out there, right? And oftentimes we also refer to Nightmare 4 as like the MTV part, not, the MTV version of A Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, the amazing music and the truly out-of-the-box jokes and stuff that Freddy's character expresses. Anyway.
I've spoken with a lot of guys that portray Jason, and they never really like to talk to the actors or actresses that they were going to murder and things like that. How was Robert Englund behind the scenes?
What do you think?
You met Robert.
He talks your ear off.
Yes, he does. And from everything from, remember he was redoing his bathroom, we were talking about grout colors and this, and then we'll go off and talk about, some obscure film, and, or talk about an experience with some amazing actor that he worked with, or audition. He's such a raconteur. It's amazing. So, no, he was was like, I mean, I think we're all saying yes, very deep, very personable.
I was gonna say too, the whole thing about it's make believe, it's
I know,
acting.
it's a movie.
So like not talking to the actors is maybe good for take one. But the thing is, it takes many takes. So when people are like, I don't want to see you. I just did a horror film where the young actress said, I don't want to see you before we do the scene. I want an organic response, to which David Naughton said, what are you going to do for take two, my dear? And she promptly skulked away. Because it's make believe, go to school, learn how to do it. It's a craft of being surprised. So not wanting to see your actors, it's self-indulgent and it doesn't assist the process in any way of making a film. I just want to make that clear to any young filmmakers out there. It's technique, it's having tools in your toolbox, it's a skill, and it has nothing to do with being really surprised or, because if you can't get your actor to have an organic response, you're either not able to direct them properly or you've cast the wrong person. It has nothing to do with, we're gonna, it's not a snuff film, it's show business, so I'm sorry, I sound so like, I just find that stuff such nonsense. It's nonsense.
I know, I've heard Robert talk about this before, and he really nailed this on the head. He talked about how he really felt that he was, more the veteran actor on the set, and these young people, because we were all quite young, the newbies. And he would really take us under his wing, and he really did that. And when you feel safe, and when you feel loved, you really do better work. And he did that. He did that for all of us, and he took care of us, and he was very nurturing. And to have somebody like that that was very approachable and not scary, because it was like we knew the film. It was like, by the time we got to 4, it's ready. And then he's just this warm, lovely human being, and you're like, wow, I feel very safe to do what we're doing. Yeah.
I mean, and he interacts with all of his victims in a lot of a different way than Jason and interacts with his victims too. And that difference, that might work for them, but maybe because they don't do a lot of give and take, it's like just up here.
One final question for me, and then we'll take some audience questions. Heather and Brooke, you have another connection, both working on Just the Ten of Us. Talk a little bit about working together on that series, and then we'll take a couple questions from the audience.
Well, I mean, I know I speak for Heather, I don't speak for Heather, but we were truly a family, we still are a family. Deborah Harmon, one of my best friends, Joanne Millett, still talk to both Rupert Bauer. So when we did that show, it was a very, talk about organic, when we got to set on day 1, it was like we had known each other forever. Yeah, and it was just something that for me is extremely near and dear to my heart, and I walked away from that series, especially with Deborah Harmon. So much growth and really knowing how to be professional and knowing even how to, Deborah would always say, we treat our guest stars like they're our family, because they, again, when you nurture.
that to heart by marrying one of
I really like him.
And now they have
Sorry,
kids
Jake.
together. She listens to Deborah.
But she did. She said they are our family, and if you bring them in and you make them feel loved and comfortable, they do their best work. And I guarantee you, you will be on their series one day, and they will treat you the same. And that came true.
Or
so
you'll be
many
living
times.
under the same roof with them.
That's right. Yeah, exactly right.
I have to tell a little. Talk out of school since we're here. But we would have a reading Monday morning of the script, and it was usually pretty good. I mean, it was usually funny, and there were lots of jokes, and you learn quickly like how to get the rhythm of the jokes, and it's very fun and very hard. And I'm reading, and I'm looking over at Brookie, and she's just like memorized the whole script. Damn. And I finally and it made me look bad, frankly. That's why I came. Because she would have it all perfectly timed in her brain and memorized on Monday morning at 9 a.m. And I'm like, Brookie, what's your secret? She's like, I just reading off the page, Heather, like I stumble and then I feel like I'm making a fool of myself, so I just make sure to just have it all memorized on Sunday night. It's like everyone was such a good actor on the show, and Brookie and then Joanne Willette, they all were so versatile and they could do anything. And Joanne, who I'm sorry isn't with us, she should be, you know, she can mimic anybody. And if you ever have the chance to see the Just the 10 of Us gag reels, Joanne imitates all of us, and it is perfect. And the producers and everybody, it's one of the funniest clips you'll ever see. And you know, Bill Kirkenbauer was a gentle, such a nice man. Our producers were kind of brutal. They were the only ones who were hard asses, but they were hardcore producers, you know. I know. But on the laugh track,
So they weren't expecting this family, and we were like, hey, we're like for each other.
yeah, it was fun.
Joanne and I went to UCLA together, and we actually shared a mailbox because Willette and Wilcox. And then of course Joanne was in Nightmare 2 as the mean cheerleader. So I just had to bring like all this sort of serendipity, you know, weird serendipity.
And I wanted to say I memorized everything because I have severe dyslexia. And I can't read.
No, that's not
So, you know, you can do anything you want, but that's what I do.
No, that's a good lesson for any actor out there. Like, nothing should be your barrier to doing it, you know, and that could be used as a crutch or an excuse for so many situations. Oh, but no, she just like would take the bull by the horns, and she came around it from this other way. It was really awesome, and I super admired it.
We have time for a couple questions.
This is for Brooke and Lisa. Could you please tell some of your favorite stories working with Rennie Harlan, and please do your best impression of his accent?
I wish Tuesday Night was here because she does the best impression of Rennie.
Yep,
Of
yep.
Rennie Harlan.
Yeah, but it's beautiful.
Get to know musicians. I sound more Bulgarian, I think, but I'm trying. Rennie was just cool. He was great. I think my favorite story is that he was very personable with us actors. And I remember in the Crave Inn, yes, the Crave Inn, and I'm working on it. I'm trying to find some business as an actor for your performers. You know, you don't just stand and do lines like you might be doing something. I'm in a restaurant, I'm a waitress, so what am I doing? So I decided to be polishing some silverware. So I'm polishing forks, right? And then I noticed there's this amazing shadow happening as I'm polishing these forks. And I'm like, Rennie, look. And he's like, brilliant. And he says, get the knives. So I'm like, oh, right. So I get the knives, and then of course you have, and it's in the movie, there's this quick shot of the knives, the shadow of the knives, of course, the foreshadow of Freddy Krueger's glove. So anyway, so that's my story with Rennie.
Again, for some reason, I've just worked with like just amazing, gentle people, and Rennie Harlan, in my opinion, was one of them. He, when we all got cast, he invited us over to the producer's house. We went to the producer's house because he lived in some bedroom house on the floor.
I was in Hawaii on my honeymoon.
Oh yeah, okay. So he had us all get together before the movie, and we hung out as friends, and we became friends. And that's like when we came for our 20th year reunion. It was kind of like it was truly a reunion of friends, and we all clicked. And that was really Rennie again, being very progressive and bringing us all together. Before we started the movie, we were already a click. Yeah, so that's one of my favorite things. And I've seen him recently, and it's just fabulous. It was so great to see him. The hotel.
Hello, ladies. My question is actually for the whole panel. Lisa, you were in an episode of Star Trek, and Heather was in Star Trek, and I read from the Never Sleep Again book by Tommy Hudson, shameless plug, that that you auditioned for one of my favorite comedies, which is Night of the Comet. You were going to be Reg originally, and I love that movie to pieces. And my question is, if you could be in any other genre that isn't horror, what would it be?
That is so easy for me to answer.